Hello, this is Gabriel and Icon of the Canfu Global Consulting, the charity for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology. Ich heiße Gabriel and Icon of the Canfu Global Consulting. My company don't have any problems. Este Gabriel Dicon of the Canfu Global Consulting. That's to all my followers, Senor, Senorita, Senora. I'm very glad to invite you to my channel. This is very important things. It is a very valuable thing for me to do, and I always do this because Jesus Christ lives in me. This is not a religious channel. This is somebody that God has written a message in his heart, and I decided to humble myself to follow just what God wrote in my heart. This is not my desire. I'm not doing this because I wanted to do this. I'm doing this because God wrote something in my heart and I decided to follow that. This is not my expectation. I didn't expect to do this. If you have called me a couple years ago when I have my $30,000, $33,000 in my bank account, I should have told you that I'd get a heck out of here. I wanted to meet the president, this and that and this. This was what I have an expectation. So this is not an expectation. This is God doing. Okay, and I want people to know this is not a religious channel. I'm not a religious man, and I don't want no one to profile me as a religious man. I am a person that God have touched in the heart to do just what I do. This is part of what I do. I am a scientist uh, in nature, and everything I do is based on science. Everything I do, every man thinking is based on science. But I would like to reiterate that God used people like us in a different kind of way that the world do not know and the world do not even imagine. He always work on things that are neglectable, that are not persuasive to many, and that's why he used the channel for his messages. I wanted to people to understand that I am very surprised when I see people walking in their life, walking around and speak about the name of Jesus Christ, speak about the name of God without even being afraid, without even being shackled that there might be some remedy. So there might be some bad energy that might come into your life, because what we're missing about God is that God have a nature. He have a pure nature. His nature is so pure that he cannot be with what is not his nature. It is just the way it is. So for somebody like me who pray every single night before and invite the Spirit of Christ, it is very, very upsetting for people to still be judging me, because I have no power to conspire or to cut to frame God that he have to like me more. I don't have that power. Or convince God, or try to corrupt the nature of God. I don't have that power. So the only way to understand why when I pray and that happen is because somehow my heart is the heart of God. Because it got to be, okay? It have to be the heart of God for the Spirit of God through Jesus Christ to manifest. Or even his hand, even is the presence of the manifestation of the angels. It have to be that my heart is one with God. The problem with people is that they spend all the time reading the stories in the Bible, reading the story in the Bible, reading the story in the Bible every single day. But they have no ambition and mission to reflect the testimony with the support of the Bible. It means that I do not use verse in the Bible. I mean I use verse, but I don't recite those verse. I don't memorize those verse because I don't have to. God didn't teach us like that. The Bible is a living, eternal book that must be used as a support to justify our testimony. That's what it is. It's not there to be a history book. You open it and start reading it just to please people. And many pastors, many people are doing it. Jesus Christ is saying to you, it is wrong. Okay, and I say that to you today, it is wrong. It is ignorancy, but it is time for people to open their eyes. The best thing you can ever say is that God have opened your eyes, because reciting those verses, yes, it's good to know the story about the Bible. I do know the story of the Bible. I tell you the story about Noah, from the beginning to the end, the story about Abraham, beginning to the end, the story about Isaac, the story about Ishmael, the story about Jacob, the story about Esau, the brother of Jacob, the story about Joseph of Egypt, the son, the 11 sons of Jacob, Israel, the story about Moses, the story about Aaron, the story about Joshua, the replacement of Moses, the story about Daniel, Ruth, Esther, Hezekiah, Elijah, the story about Saul, Samuel, the story about David, the story about Solomon, the story about Joseph, the father-in-law of Jesus, the story about Mary, the story about Elizabeth, the aunt of Mary, the story about Zachariah, the father of John the Baptist, the story about John the Baptist, the story about Jesus Christ, the story about Peter, the story about Simon, the story about Thomas, and all of those people. I know the story. But I don't read these things. Like people go and make money out of the name of Christ. I use my own experience, and I use the Bible as a support to justify my testimony. That's what it is. That's what the Bible is there for. I have lived my life, but my experience is a 100-year-old experience. Somebody will have a 100-year-old. My experience is like that. That is the reason why I will be talking today about the invisible power of the cross. It means the invisible cross. The invisible cross that lives inside of us, that's supposed to develop inside of us. The invisible cross lives in me. It means that Christ lives in you. If you declare that Christ lives in you and you don't have the invisible cross, it means that, like the Bible says, you're not telling the truth. I don't call you a liar. I don't want to call you a liar. I'm just saying you're not telling the truth. Because this is what happened. If me, Gabriel and Icon, I go into hell to visit, because that's where I know I will see the demon and evil and forces. I can assure you that even without the physical presence of angels and Jesus Christ, I can walk in hell, and those demons, when they're going to see me, they're going to be moving along apart. They're going to be moving like this. They will not be afraid because of me. They will be afraid because of what they see in me. They will be afraid because of the cross, of the invisible cross that is in me, because they can see it. It's a spiritual thing. That's what they're going to be doing that for. The reason why I'm saying this is because many of you are holding the Bible in your hand, are putting cross in your neck. It's called empty expression. It have no power inside. It have no power. Even if the Pope have a cross in his neck and he doesn't have the invisible cross inside of him, that cross in the neck have no power, and the demon gonna laugh out of it. The demon will laugh out of you when you're gonna tell, I'm a Christian. He's gonna laugh. You're quite a Christian. I can take your life at any moment, and he can't, because you have no protection from God. You are not part of his kingdom. You are part of this world. So you are part of the kingdom of darkness. That's what it is. You wanted to say, when Jesus Christ said, give to Caesar what is belong to Caesar, and to God what is of God. Yes, he was referring into the two words. This word, which is the word of darkness, and the word of God. It come back again to justify what I said in the beginning. I said, people can go to the devil and ask for things, and those things are granted by God according to his desire, will, and the devil will give it to you. That's why Jesus Christ said, give to Caesar what is belong to Caesar, to this word what is belong to this word, because if it doesn't come directly from God, it came from the devil, because it have to do with integrity. In a spiritual word, integrity, honesty, loyalty is I don't know how to explain it. It is something that you can play with. Integrity, loyalty, and honesty, very important. So when God say it didn't come directly from me, it didn't come from him, even if he's the one who's the source of all things. So those people, they do their life. When they have a victory, the first thing they say in their mouth, I want to thank God. They have a big cross in the neck. I want to thank God. Which God? People call it religious spirit people. They have no real connection with the true God, because the spiritual cross is not, the invisible cross is not inside of them. It doesn't live in them. What make the external be powerful? It is what is inside. It is what is inside. I can walk around without a cross, but I have a cross in me. I don't have to have a cross to show that I am a Christian. Demons laugh at you when you don't have that invisible cross that is inside, because that is Christ living in you. They will feel away from you. All right. The reason why people like us be afflicted is because we are people of love. We like to be around people who understand us. In order to work for God, you have to be composed of others. You cannot do it by yourself. And by consequences, I pay the price, because everybody I go around want to hurt me. You have to be a composite of many in order for you to be able to fulfill the will of God. That's what Jesus Christ did. He became the composite of many in order for him to serve God well. Many of you wanna to be by yourself and believe that you can be a ruler of others. You have to be composed of others. But when I mean composed, it means that people who understand your heart. This word want justice. God is not looking for justice. God is looking for people who have their heart synchronized with his heart. People in this world want people who are just. God don't look people who are just. Otherwise, people like Peter will not be the rock that Jesus Christ said, because he was not just. He was not. But God chose him. God don't look people who are just. in our society. He look people who have a good heart, because the good heart is good for the nature of God. For the nature of God. People are so evil in today because God have placed Jesus Christ in between man and him. Back then, when people were doing evil, God will manifest. People will die. God was like that before Jesus Christ. But God have changed his made. He haven't changed his nature, but he changed his approach. Even he changed his approach with the same message. Because Christ came into the picture. When people mixed up on earth, God said to Jesus Christ, go and handle it. Because at the time of Peter, when people were coming and hurting a child of God, you will not sleep that night. You'll be gone. He will shorten your time. He will manifest. You might even see the house shaking. You might even see somebody. Back then, you see people, blood coming out of their eyes and nose, because God was very strict with his people. But nowadays, people are using the name of Christ any kind of way, but you don't know Christ. You don't know Jesus Christ. The Jesus Christ you know is Jesus Christ of kindness. You don't know the Jesus Christ of today. The Jesus Christ as the ruler of the kingdom of heaven is not the same as you know. He have the same message, but the message is unforced. The thing that Christ want me to tell you is that many of you, like today, I was walking and I meet two couple. I mean one couple. The man was so nice. He won't talk to me. We have things in common. We talk about soccer. He was older than me, kind of like age of my father, I can say. But he plays soccer, very athletic. Background from Italy, from Spain. But the woman, she didn't want anything to do with me. But the spirit inside of me, she didn't want to talk. She was okay. She just want to, our business guy. No. So Jesus Christ said to me, just pay attention. Look, these are how people lived into their life. They're looking for me in churches when I want them to look for me in street. They're looking for me in places where they believe I should be, when actually they're supposed to look for me how to treat other people, because I am here. And they say, this is exactly what I've been talking about. In this country, it's all over the place. People, I want to tell you today, if you go to church looking for Jesus Christ, it is a waste of your time. You go to church to celebrate your life with Jesus Christ, you'll be good, because Jesus Christ have to live in you. You go to church to celebrate his experience with you, to celebrate his presence with you, his glory, the way that he walks in your life. You don't go there to find him. You find Jesus Christ through the trust, and the trust is an expression of our life. Life is based on love. It means you must have a vertical love with other people. You must have a horizontal love, in horizontal love with other people, and well as a vertical love relationship with Jesus Christ. You going out there, you walking out there, you are looking at people, you run away from people, and then you go to church to pray for what? For Jesus Christ to come and show up? To come and see what? You have not manifested any cross behavior in your entire week. Where is your horizontal love for other people? If you don't have, and most people who don't have that love for other people, they do not have a love for God. Therefore, they are voided from the cross. As a result, they have no invisible cross living inside of them. That's the reason why they're acting the way they're acting. They call them in heaven empty tomb, looking good outside, but nothing inside. Looking good. Looking good Christian. That's how they call them. Looking good. Looking good Christian. Lifting the Bible and lifting that up, going and chanting, but you have no horizontal love for others. No horizontal love. What do you think the cross is? The cross is not a symbol. The cross existed before Christ was even manifested as the testimony of the truth. When Jesus Christ said, I came to testify for the truth, that's what he was talking about. The cross was already there. Life is all about love before Christ was even in a picture. Life is all about love, and the cross is all about love, because the cross, the way it is, just a cross. The combination of the horizontal and vertical love. That's what it is. So many of you, they don't understand it. They walk out there just looking for themselves. Looking for themselves. Looking for themselves. Jesus Christ said to you, if you love me, obey my command. You cannot talk about Jesus Christ and you don't talk about the cross. You can't. You cannot talk about Jesus Christ and avoid the cross. And if you talk about the cross, you got to talk about the horizontal love and the vertical love. It is not an option, but many people. And I say sometimes Christ, and most of the time, will speak to other people, to you. And that's how you find him. You communicate with Christ to other people. And people go and say, Christ, talk to me. Talk to me. And Christ, I spoke to you today. You didn't even show me. You didn't know me. I spoke to you today through that man, or through that lady, or to that child, or to that clerk. I spoke to you today. Christ is there. So things have to change in the way we do things. And that's the reason why you have chaotics, you have people who don't understand other people. I have people judging me. They fear me. But I wanted to start this and say, first, to our President Trump, I want to say this. Jesus Christ said in the beginning, Trump is God's choice, is the Father's choice. Okay? So when the Father makes a decision, Jesus Christ have to follow that. There was a reason why he said that. But Christ yet have to live inside of the president. But it will happen in the near future. It's a working process. It is a working process. Now, the point is, the enemy of the president are alive. This is what Jesus Christ wanted him to do. Because it started with me. I didn't know who were behind my profiling. But now I do know, because Jesus Christ spoke to me about it. It is the fourth branch of the government that is controlled by certain elite in the Pentagon and certain elite in the NSA. They are the one running these things. And they are the fourth branch of the government. So now Jesus Christ, they are the one. And when Jesus Christ was saying to me, if Trump solves your problems, I will reduce the weight that is in him. I didn't understand it. I said, but it's God's choice. Why do you have to do that? Now, he explained. The same people who are after you are the same people who are after him. It is the fourth branch. And the fourth branch, they want to do everything that they want to do. Sometimes they even go above the president's power, wanting him to do certain things because of the name of national security, because of the name of terrorism. This is not fair. That's what Jesus Christ is saying to the president. As soon as you return, you have to make a rally. You speak clearly about you as the commander-in-chief, and you have to dismantle, not completely, but you dismantle the power of that fourth government that is illegally conducting activity across the United States, abusing people's freedom and people liberty, and influencing people in the day-to-day lives. That's something that you have to do. If you don't do it, they will continue to disturb your presidency, because they will use the name of national security and terrorism to continue the pursuit of the illegal activity. So that's what they're doing. That branch of the government is in place. They are there. And 88% of those people were positioned into power by the previous administration. So somehow the previous President Obama is still running a shadow government, because those people, some of them are still loyal to him. So that's the problem that our new president have, and that's the reason why the media that is also controlled by that fourth branch of the government is doing what they're doing to him. And I'm pretty sure if he want to solve this problem at all, he have to address them directly to the American people, the people who elected him into daylight. Because if he doesn't do that, they're going to come up with the impeachment things, and they'll come up with some stuff to manipulate people's mind. And it will be too late. So now, the other thing Jesus Christ put in place is that prayer. People have to pray. Prayer is very powerful. Only God can move mountains. Only God can solve the problem of President Trump right now, and my problem. But faith and prayer move God. I don't know if you heard what I said. I said only God can move mountain. It means only God can solve problem in the scope of the president. In my scope, because my problem is very unprecedented. Okay, go on. 15 years, same thing. Only God can solve this. But now, prayer and faith can move God. So if you have prayer and faith, you will move God to move mountain. Okay, that's how it works. Prayer and faith will move God to do that job for you, because you can do it. You cannot come and try to change people's mind. You can come and make the entire world believe in only what you said. Only God can do that. That is what the Bible refers as mountain. It's not a physical mountain. Okay? It's called spiritual translation. And many people don't understand it. You know, you have to have a spiritual domination in order for you to dominate people in the physical realm. The spiritual must happen first. You know, so that's what it is. The president have to know that he's fighting a war against the enemy that is spiritual. But that fourth branch of the government that is run by certain member at the Pentagon and certain member at the NSA, they have to be revised into the application of the method, because people like me are suffering from it. They're sucking my personality, they're sucking my image, they're defaming my name and character, and they continuously monitor my life illegally, influencing local law enforcement, feeding them with false information, feeding the public with false information about me. It is a bombshell of a level, unprecedented level, that must be seized immediately. You see, that's the reason why Jesus Christ said, if the president handle the problem, I will handle his problem. I will handle his problem because I am the only one who can move mountain. Thank you. I'm the only one who can move mountain. Now, when I cough the way I cough, I praise God for it because it is part of how the human body functions. The human body must also release waste as the earth releases waste, as the ocean releases waste. It's not a, a disease for your body to go through a process of healing. I asked a question yesterday to a couple that I met, and I said to the couple, remember one thing, everything is poison. Because the difference is the dose. Even your food that you're putting in your car have a chemical on it, have a toxin on it. It's called, I even give them the name. It's called aflatoxin. The aflatoxin is a toxic chemical that is in every single food. Who created food? God. Why do God allow aflatoxin in every single food? Because God knew and God knows that the body, in order for the body to become strong, to improve, it got to face challenge. So challenge are not only for our character, challenge are also for even our system biology to improve it. So it means if your body don't, and God put it there, it's in every single food that you eat. So everything is poison. The difference is the dose. You have to know that. That's the truth and the truth. So you go and you look your aflatoxin. Every time you eat food, you have to know that there's poison in it. But that poison is good for the mechanism that strengthen, that make your system biology stronger. So that's why when you have disease, when you have fever, when you have something like a flu, it is not something that you have to think like, okay, it's over. No, it is there to challenge and to strengthen your body so that when the real disease come in place, your body is ready. If you never had any disease, any fever, none, the day that you're going to have even a simple fever like that, the chances that you might die, 90%. The probability, the likelihood that you will go 0.01 or 0.004, you will go. Most likely, even by chance, that you will die. Very high. By chance that you will not die alone, maybe 0.1. So you have to know that. Most likely will happen. Most likely might happen. So you have to know that God is the one who controls life. Today I spoke to people and I said, I am fed and tired to see people on TV, those people on a high echelon of this society, people who claim themselves to be wealthy. You claim yourself to be wealthy. You claim yourself to be part of this world. But I want to assure you, there is nothing in this earth compare into the heaven. Compare into the heaven. But this is what God, Jesus Christ, made clear to me. Paradise is the capital of the heavens. It is also called the third heaven. But it is paradise because it is more amazing than any other part of the heaven. You have to know that the first heaven is the cloud heaven, okay, the atmosphere. Now the second heaven is all the galaxy, is the bigger one, is the big one. Right? Now the third heaven is the heaven of light, the true heaven. That's the paradise. That's what they call paradise. That's what God is. So now I have a lot of people who wanna come on TV, make a show, talk about God. There is many people. I'm not here to judge you or to lecture you. This presentation is up to you to listen. I have my challenges with Lucifer in this earth, but I am good with God. Okay? I came up with an equation, the equation of happiness. If you go on my website and you click on my website www.charitymedfunded.org, you will see on the third level, you will see all my research according to Genesis research project, and the 9th equation is the equation of happiness. Many people have said it could never happen, but one night I went to sleep, Jesus Christ spoke to me, and I came up with that. That is true, and that will be true for every single person in this planet. Trust me, even myself, I still stumble with that equation, because when I apply it, I know it's difficult for every single person to manage the expectation. Manage the expectation. But every single time that the purpose, the divine purpose of God, the divine will of God will be higher than your expectation, you will find happiness inside of you, even if you don't see it physically. You will find happiness because you are in synchronization with God's will, and God is the only one who knows how to give you happiness in there. You're gonna be happy, even if things are not going your way. Of course, things will not go your way when your expectation are reduced. So that's why that equation is completely true. Completely true. And I say happiness is equal to the difference between divine purpose and divine will minus the expectation, greater or equal to 0. That's what it is. That difference must be greater or equal to 0. It means, just people gotta know, it means that if you take your expectation in the other side, the divine purpose should be greater or equal to your expectation. So at least it should be equal to what God will is. See, many people who don't understand how the spiritual world functions, they will say to me, well, I just don't get it. Yeah, you don't, because you're still growing up like a kindergarten. You're school in spiritual level that you must understand, like the school, that like our traditional school. The universe have a beginning and have an end, in a dimension of God, but it does have an end. Our universe, but the heaven is infinite, because it can expand and expand and expand. If something expand, it means that thing have, if you retrospect, that thing have a beginning. The universe expand, it means the universe have a beginning. The universe is in order. The universe will remain, the universe was in order. From that starting point, the universe is in order. as I speak, and the universe will remain in order. The reason why order is necessary is that you know in your calendar that in June it will be the beginning of the summer. You know that. That is part of order. You know that about October and November it will be the beginning of fall. That's part of order. You know that. And you also know that by the end of November, beginning of December, it is the beginning of winter. You know that because that is part of order. Gabriel and Darwin is not inventing anything. How do you believe that order is in place? It's because God have algorithms, spiritual as physical, that make sure that it happens just the way that is in your calendar. The universe have to work in a certain way to see it like that. When you go to a different place or you corner of this world, they'll tell you this is a season of raining. And then when that season of raining is over, 3 months, it is the new season of sun, dryness. It is a way, it's order. So because of that, now when you study astrology, astronomy is the study of the star, the planet, and the moon, or any other asteroid out there. Now, astrology is the study of the influence of the star into our lives. It is true. It is something that is there. I'm not inventing anything. Therefore, if it does exist, that those planets and stars influence our lives, it means even our life is also part of that order. It means before you were born, like it's written in the Bible, Jesus Christ said, I knew you before you were even born. It means your life was already written. In order for God to see the end from the beginning, he has to be the one who wrote that end. In order for God to see time ti out of minus infinity to plus infinity of the real dimension, anytime ti in between for I belong to that real interval, it means that God have to be the one who wrote that event in that time ti from the beginning. It is written in your Bible. Now, if God have done that, it means that he's the one who wrote your story. If God wrote your story, it means that God made that design according to the order of the cosmos. Therefore, your life, what happened to you, is already written. It was already previewed that it will happen, or possibility. Therefore, there's nothing you can do about it. It is already there. You cannot change it. You can delay it based on your behavior, on how you respond to how the universe will come at you, but it will be. It will be. It means when that divine purpose that God has written, many people claim, well, find who you are, define who you are. You cannot define who you are because you didn't write your story. The person who can tell you who you are is God. Therefore, people must start teaching people, find God, the person that you believe in your God, and ask him, what is your purpose for this earth? In this earth. Then when God gives you your purpose, because he's the one who wrote your story, he's the only one who know what is your purpose. It means you have to tap into the spiritual force. You have to tap into that spiritual being that is in you. Moving from your consciousness to your subconsciousness, and from your subconsciousness into your superconsciousness, into the superconsciousness. That goes from your physical mind, your brain, into your subconscious, your gut, the mind of your soul, and into the super consciousness, which is the mind of the spirit that is also linked into the mind of God. Then he will start writing and telling you exactly what your purpose is into this earth. Then you know what your purpose is. Then you can start finding yourself synchronizing your purpose with your expectation. Because we do have expectation. Everything we do is expectation. And we worry when it doesn't happen. Because if, like I explained to you before, if your expectation do not match with the divine purpose, you're wasting your time. You're going to go around the desert like the Jew did for 40 years. Into the divine purpose of God come to place. If God said, like God said to the Jew, Joshua, you have too many spies, too many people who don't want the well-being of my purpose. I will give you 40 years in the desert into the die. Therefore, new generation will enter my promised land. I don't want them there. They are not good. And they did exactly 40 years. Whatever they were doing, they were turning around for 40 years. For a distance that is only 100 kilometers. How many minutes you drive 100 kilometers when you convert it into miles? That's less than about maybe 70 miles, 75 miles. Can you drive 75 miles or walk? Even if you walk 75 miles, even if you live here by walking, it doesn't gonna take you 40 years. Normality, critical thinking approach. Another way to justify my testimony here. God wrote your divine purpose and mission in this word. As I speak, your journey rely on your divine purpose. You find your divine purpose, you become good with the universe. Because those stars control your life. The day you were born, those stars were in specific positions, different from mine. Mine different from the neighbor. The neighbor different from somebody in India. From somebody in India different from somebody in Egypt. For somebody in Egypt different from somebody in Indonesia, in Illinois, anywhere in Washington, anywhere, it's different positions. And those positions, because the universe moves in divine order for a purpose. The role of the star is to be witness of all activities into this planet. It means that during the day, the star, the sun are witnesses. It means that they record all our activities. At night, the moon and the star record all our activities. They are there as witness. When people say, how do God see us? People go and steal. The camera is already there. The sunlight is already filming you. Sorry, advanced technology. You're talking like you're going to hurt Gabriel and the icon. The sun, the daylight is already there filming you. Advanced technology. God is advanced. During the night, the moon is there. The star that you see. Oh, we see a lot of stars. They are there to film you. And God don't have to think too much about when you come before him. He just go to his technology, advanced technology, and get all the tips and show you exactly when you were born. Even he can even show you when your mother and father met and how and where they have you and where you were born and how you were born. He'll show you all that if you want. Because those stars and planets were here before we came into existence. It's obvious. You cannot have human being before the stars, before the planet, because in order for our planet to exist, a star, the sun have to exist, and then that the planets start forming after the sun, and then when the planet are formed, that the moon start forming. It is the way it's designed. So there before us, I see a lot of people. They continue to judge me. But I want to tell you, I don't use the Bible reading story. I use my testimony and use the Bible to justify, to support my testimony and justify my testimony. There was a decade ago, years ago, where I have enormous money in my bank account that I suffer and I work hard. I work hard. I work 3 jobs, 4 jobs. There was a time where I went to file taxes. I didn't even knew that. I went to file taxes and I was sitting there and I said to the guy, well, the guy said, well, can you give me your W-2? And I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16th W-2 for 1 year. I didn't even knew how impressive it was for the guy, because I was a worker maniac. Okay, I was driving my Toyota Camry, 1994, eating beans and rice. I was not going to clubs, not eating outside, wearing the same kind of clothes. It is even now that I purchase a lot of clothes. Back then I was wearing the same kind of clothes. Difference was that I was washing those clothes very well, making sure that I changed it when I was able to save good money. I have money in my bank. When I left the military, came out, I was about 27, 28, with more than $32,000 in my bank account, cash. A bank with Chase, a bank with US Bank. I didn't choose any kind of small bank. Chase and US Bank. People who want to discuss, I can go retrieve those statements and show it to you. I just don't talk. Now, that was the minimum. Sometimes I was going all even up to like 33, 34,000. I did it for 4 years. 4 years in my bank. $5,000 was not a problem for me. Okay? Now, the point is this. Every single time I look the money and you think that you have a certain power, I want to tell you, many of you are there. I was driving my Toyota Camry. I could have taken the money, go to Toyota and say, this is $20,000. I want this new SUV. I didn't do that. Why? Because God warned me. God told me, you're going to have problems. That was back in 2008. You're going to have problems. And that money gonna have to be used. Save your money, they said, because that money will be used during your time of challenges. So it comes back to Joseph of Egypt. What was the gleam of the Pharaoh? 7 years of plenty and 7 years of dryness. I could have done it. Purchase a big car, live in a better place. I mean, come on. Got money, I can money to pay my rent for even 2 years, or even 10 years. Okay, so now when the problem came, that money helped me to survive for all those years. That people were wondering if I was doing magic. I was not doing magic. When you don't know about somebody, Jesus Christ, do not judge, because you don't know. You don't know. People have to have love. Talk to other people so you know the truth. You're talking about walking. There is nobody who can walk than me in this earth. If I have my health, nobody. No one. I still have my coins. that was given to me by the commander in Iraq. There was an emergency where our base was attacked. They destroyed one of our operation system facility, and we refused. We stand and work for 23 hours straight. I said 23 hours. It was almost 24 hours a day. We, those who sustained, who resisted, we have coin of excellence given to us by the commander of the base, of our squadron. You have to understand, there is no one who can work like I do in this planet. I say again, in this planet. You can speak what you want to speak, but I did all of those. I had money in my bank, in my age. I'm not talking about credit card, I'm talking about cash. I work hard. Now I make a decision. It is time for this country to really do what they say instead of just say without doing nothing. If they say they are here, America the free, give opportunity to people, they have to. I am the true story in this country because I've done what I've done for this country. You got new people. They come from villages that I don't even know where. And you are giving them opportunity to come and insult me and judge me. Me who wear the uniform of this nation. It is very pathetic. Not that I'm better than them, but what gave them the authorization to judge me? Where do they know me? Where they never knew me? Just because people within the fourth branch of the government, controlled by the Pentagon, certain people will never like me to advance, and the NSA, because I went to the bank one day and I retrieved $10,000, they were thinking that I was selling drugs, I'm a bad person. No, it was the money of my sweat. I was wearing the same clothes for 5 years. 5 years. Eating beans and rice for 5 years. Not going into movies for more than 5 years. Not going outside, club, nothing for 5 years. What do you expect? And I was working 1, 2, 3 jobs. So I'm going to tell you something. I am a Jew, even more than a Jew. I know how to manage money. I know how to build money. That's the reason why the devil don't want me to have any financial freedom right now, because he knows. When I start with those people, we're going to be making the same money. But what I will have in my bank account, they will not even be close. And the devil know that. Because people are born with certain skill. So when I see these people coming from villages that I don't even know, when I was serving, would they even be close to me? I was an engineer in the military, respected. I have my vehicle when I was driving overseas in bases. Who are those people? Do we share the same idea? No, we don't. They're doing their job and paying the bill and they taking care of the family, thinking that I'm going to steal something from them or doing something. Do they know me? Where do they know me? I just told you my story. If I ever come before your face and ask you for money, then you might have an opportunity to judge me. But if I don't, I pay my bills. Do you know how much it costs to maintain that SUV I have? How much I have to pay for it every month? You don't have no clue. Besides that, I have bills. Yeah, that I pay, the internet, all of these, electricity, all these I pay. Okay? I don't ask you money. So let me tell you something. You are working because you don't have nothing. If you have something, you will not be working. So stop judging me. Okay? Stop judging me. You stay there and judging somebody. You are working because you have none. People who have money don't work. Or either they just go there and show up. Alright? You are working because you freaking broke and poor. Don't come and judge me and say that I have no job. You don't pay my bills. You don't even live the kind of life I live. Okay? You come where I am. I have internet of high caliber. I have everything that a person is supposed to have. Okay? I drive my car that I have. It's nothing to be before the God, before me. Because material thing, and I feel better live my life pleasantly where I live with what I have. Now, you come and judge me and saying, this is somebody who went in after serving a nation, did a sacrifice for people of this country, come back here and be treated wrongly by the people who don't even know me, wrongly by the people of my own because of the jealousy and envy. I have done and achieved what you guys have ever done. Okay? I went to Iraq in a mission, expeditionary mission, which is a very important mission. Not everybody go in expeditionary mission. Very lucky and blessed people do, and I was part of it. All right? You want to talk about testimony? I have one. I just don't talk to talk. I have going of excellence. 23 hours straight walking, standing up. If you ever work for 23 hours straight without resting, you come and talk to me about work. But if you never done that, don't ever judge me. Okay? If you have misery in your life, you need a savior. You need Jesus Christ. Alright? I don't need Jesus Christ. I already have him. And Jesus Christ don't come in your life when everything is going well. Actually, if you want to see Jesus Christ in your life, it is when things are not going well. Because there is no need for Christ to work on somebody that everything is okay. You don't need him. Okay? It makes complete sense. It's called critical thinking. It is called critical thinking. If everything is going well in your life, there's no need of God. There's no need of Jesus Christ. So, yes, I'm a perfect candidate to say Jesus Christ is with me. Because the moment is an indicator of his presence in people's lives. That's what it is. So when you have people sitting there adjudicating and judging others without even knowing, what do you guys know about me? You don't know me. You have no ideas. I have people when I used to serve who could not even sit close to where I sit, meeting generals, being in places where they never can enter. They come and judge me. I don't even know in what kind of villages they brought them. Visa agreement with countries. You come here and judge me. You gotta be very careful. I wrote a story in this country. My name is written even in Congress. I don't know where your name is written. But that is not too important to me. It's not important to me. What's important is living a life where people respect me even if I have nothing. But in this world today, people want to respect you when you have something. I wanted to tell you, the money that you believe make you boost your shoulder mean nothing to God. Because God can take that money away from you. When the problem started, the money was getting down and down every single day until it all finished. You understand? You have to understand. Everything that you have, I have had it. Every kind of job that you had, I had all those kind of PT job, manufacturing job, or whatever it is. I've done all of it. The little check that you have put in your account and believe that you're somebody, I have done it. Look in your bank account and thinking that you're somebody, I had it and more than you did at this point, at this moment, and I know that. I know there are few people in my generation, in my age, who can show me $33,000 cash in the bank account as I speak. I'm very convinced. And I'm not talking about something that happened a years ago. I'm talking about 10 years ago. So you can imagine, with interest and investment, I should be around almost 100,000. So don't talk to me. Don't be afraid of me. I have done it and I'm not in your level. I am in a different level now. My level now is to build my company and to become a millionaire and even a billionaire to serve God around the world, because the enemy is too tough. I'm not looking anymore having a few thousand in my bank account. I had it in the past. I've done it. Now my point is to become a millionaire, multimillionaire and a billionaire, to do my work, to serve God in a certain way. Yes, to serve God you need money. You have to be practical. That's the reason why God have the bank in heaven. If it was not the reason, there was no reason why God gonna have bank in heaven. Okay? There's no reason why God will have bank in heaven if money was not necessary to do His work. The problem that we have is the motive. Okay? When people misjudge the money and God, is the motive. Many people, I wonder, why do God have given too much blessing to Trump? Many people are jealous of him. Many people come after him is because, first of all, he's not a career politician, and second of all, he become very successful in his business, very wealthy. He's a billionaire. Now, God gave him another opportunity becoming president. That's too much. Back then, they used to say, well, if you have money, you can be president. But that was wrong talking, wrong thinking. It's because they're evil. The evil always tell you this is where you can go. This is where you have this pity thing, this is where you can just be, your corner and be there poor and people pound on you. That's devil thinking. And that's what I see around here where I live. It's so bad. So bad and ugly, so bad. So ugly. The people want to tell you this is where you belong. No, it does not. God don't work like that. You live, you have unlimited opportunity if you're willing to work for it and pay the price for it. There is no limitation into what you can accomplish. There is no limitation. There is no limitation. That's the reason why that president has problems, because people are jealous of him. He succeed financially, he have no problems. He doesn't have a problem. But if God is God that I know who created him, giving him all of that, what you believe that people are going to say that what I dream of is in vain? Is not in vain. I know it's a matter of time. As the same voice that used to tell me you're going to have problems, that same voice is telling me today you will be a rich man. And I believe that because of that voice of the past, and things happen the way everybody know what happened to me, challenges, it mean something good is coming my way. Will I be a different person? I'm still going to be the same person. But I'm going to live my life the way I live my life. The way people see me live my life. Okay? That's what it is. I live my life accordingly. I find my place in a very cheap place where people who think as that, is the way it is. I have my beautiful wife around the way I choose it and live my life according to God's desire. That's what it is. You wanted to say God's desire is not like that. That is your thinking. Otherwise, God will not choosing somebody like Trump to be president in this country. So, you wanted to stay in your poor mentality, you stay in your poor mentality. Jesus Christ said in the Bible, leave the dead to the dead. The dead are dead. We move forward with the living. That's what it is. You wanted to stay poor, you stay with poor people. You wanted to be rich, you start living, you start looking for rich people and surround yourself with them. This life is not coincidental. I'll become rich just by chance alone. It's a very long pathway with no calculation. You wanted to have a poor way of living life, stay with people who have poor way of living life. You stay like that. You healthy like that is good. But don't come and enter into other people's life and try to tell them how they have to live their life. I live my life as somebody who have the money, who's rich. I have my schedule. I run every Saturday. I play my soccer. I have my reading. I have my business thing I do. I have my study I gotta do. It is something that is set. I'm not gonna change it. I don't care if I have $1 in my bank account. Doesn't matter. The thing that works right now is the spiritual battle. The spiritual battle. It means I'm looking for my future. My eyes is focused in my future. I'm not looking present circumstances, because I know this is just a momentary situation. The same way when everything used to be fine, and God was telling me inside of me, you're gonna have problems. Problems are coming. And I was looking and say, what kind of problems that I'm gonna have? I have no idea. So bad. Today when I look, I'm glad that God didn't show that to me. Because I should have left the United States of America. And because if God show you that, you say, man, I'm gone. But the point is not about that. The point is about wherever you go, you're going to face those problems until you confront it and you pass it. So I just decide to stay. Because it doesn't matter. What is written is written. You're going to get it. Wherever you go, it will find you. You never saw. Let me give you the story of David. David was running away and hiding in a desert. In a desert. When they came and find him and say, you are the king. You are the one that we believe should be king of Israel. He was not part of nothing. He was hiding away because Saul wanted to kill him. So he was hiding away. The power came and find him. Okay? What's gonna happen in your life gonna happen. Doesn't matter where you go. What's gonna happen in your life gonna happen. I'm just telling you the story of David. That's what happened. The guy was hiding away. And people knew where he was hiding. But when Saul died with Jonathan, they came and started looking for him. Because he was a person, he lived a life like a tree. It means he was producing fruits that will help others. He was not living a life for himself. Today, I try to live a life like that, and people that approach one just to hurt me, people that come with the evil spirit, and you talk to them. I went to church. I go to church, and I look and say, oh God, have mercy. What kind of church these people are going? What kind of God they believe they're following? Do they know the nature of God? And I can see the impossibility into these people to invoke the Spirit of Christ like I do, because they have no horizontal love for others. Because they don't have the love for Jesus Christ. They could not, and they do not have that kind of power that will propel them to have love for others. So they live their life based on the way of this world. You know, it is very sorry. It's very pathetic for many. I have other people judging my academic level. Let me tell you people, you claim you have a BS or a bachelor degree. Do you have an associate degree? Many of you who have a bachelor degree don't have an associate degree. Is that true? Jesus Christ is asking you. Jesus Christ asked me. Many don't, but many claim. Okay? So don't judge my life. I have a bachelor level education. I have a master level education. And I have a doctorate level education. And my academic record can prove it. I say, when I mean academic record, I mean record that can be proven here in the United States with no bias and no imprecision is there. So that's ideology that people go around and start talking things that they don't well understand. It is very pathetic and funny that you can adjudicate somebody like me. I was saying, people, you claim that my education is nothing. Wait until you get there. In a graduate level education, you find out how easy it is, like you think it is. If you have not, you do not have a foundation, you're not going to be able to make it. It's just the truth. We're coming back to the same people who spend the time judging. Spend the time judging when God said, judge not. Because you don't know how far that person come. That person just came. You don't know how far his journey has been and what he has been through. You reach and you understand that other people don't comprehend your life because they never walk the walk you did walk. And every single time people judge other people from their own perspective. Why do a person who have the intellect that God gave him or gave her will judge another person from his own perspective? When you want to judge somebody, take that person's position. Judge a person according to his perspective so that you can have a more comprehensible result, resolute to the issue that you're looking into. You cannot judge a person based on your experience. Your experience is your experience. The way we were born, our fingerprint is unique. Every time if you take this finger, for every single person who lives in this planet, we are almost, I believe, 7 billion. You take 7 billion of this hand, you put it on the paper with a marker on it, it will give you 7 different billion fingerprints. As these are different, so as our lives. You cannot compare your life with other people. You are wasting your time, and I see a lot of people doing it. Is a waste of time. Focus on what God made you. Focus on how God made you, and then you will find your happiness according to how He designed you. It's not because you have a girlfriend today, you have children, so that everybody around you have to have the same way. You are not born with the same position of the star in the cosmos. Those positions were different. And because they have an influence in our lives, so as the way our lives will be exhibited in our journey. It's not because you have this that the other have to have that. It's not because you think like this that other have to think like that. That's what I said. I am not judging you. I'm not lecturing you. I don't want you to think the way I think. But I know I'm doing this for God, and the Holy Spirit going to do His work. Those who going to want to listen, going to listen. Those who don't want to listen, don't want to listen. But I will give no rest to the president of Cameroon. I'm telling him, you have started a battle. You have started something. And I'm telling you, I will be the one who's going to finish it. When you come against a person, you have to know who you come along with. I am the kind of person who can die for my belief. I don't care if I have $0 in my bank account. I don't care if I don't become successful in this world. As long as I know that I have followed what God wrote in my heart and I have faith into it, I can assure you, you have no rest. I will make sure that by the time you leave this planet, I will look taller and taller and my hair is up and my shoulders straight the same way God made me. And you're going to leave this world closing your eyes and knowing that everything that you have done has been vanity of vanity and nothing than vanity. No achievement on the destruction of Gabriel and Daikon. I will succeed in a level that you have never expected. I'm looking at life 50 years from now. You are looking at life 10 years from now because you're almost there. I am the future and the young generation moving forward with new way of thinking, with new ambition, with new prospection according to God's design. I will surely reach that level. My life is 50 years from now. I'm not in a level where you look your life 10 years from now, you're done. The best thing that you're supposed to do is to find people like us that will be there for the next generations of work. What you're doing is completely a waste of time and is completely in vain. It will not nothing before God's eyes. I'm not talking this because I mean I'm somebody or better than you, but I say this because I am convinced that within myself I am good and I'm one with God in my heart. That I have no revenge against you, but I'm telling you, I will not give you the satisfaction of seeing me destroyed because of your negative action. I will stand tall. That is the only thing God can allow me to say. I'll stay tall. I'll give you no satisfaction. And with all the people that you have here that have no courage to stand because they have some interest back home, they are scared that, if they say something, that they're going to be like that. Scared and scared. They are the same people that tomorrow, when things don't going to go the way that is going right now, they're going to shift. That's how people are. Shifting people. Good looking Christian. Good looking people. Smiling with a dark heart. A heart that have nothing to do with God. A heart that have to do with being part of this world. When you sit there and start thinking how you're going to destroy somebody else's life, and start thinking how somebody should not move forward, and start thinking how somebody should not be better than you, you got to know your heart is voided from God, and God is not part of it because of his nature. The nature of God do not allow jealousy. The nature of God do not allow envy. The nature of God do not allow conspiracy. The nature of God do not allow illegal surveillances. The nature of God do not allow defamation of names and character. The nature of God do not allow sacking. The nature of God do not allow abuse of authority. If somebody tell you otherwise, you can continue to follow that wrong path that will lead you into hell, or you can decide to listen into your heart, because the heart never lie. It is our mind that try to corrupt our heart, because it is the way we are. we born sinful in nature. We come in this world and we decide not to change, and we waste our time judging other people instead of looking at ourselves. Do I am perfect? No, I am not. But what I'm saying is completely true, because finally God have opened my eyes and I can see clearer than you do. So now I can pray and invite the Spirit of Christ. I don't know about you, so I have the authority and the right to talk to you because I have experience and I'm walking with Jesus Christ as I speak. You must say it's in vain what you do. It's completely in vain. I'm telling you, what do you have that will give you the happiness that I have? Because I'm more happy than you are, even if things are not working the way I want. Exactly, because I have reduced my expectation. I have said to God, make my expectation, I hope my expectation work with your will in your divine purpose in my lives. Many people that you see succeed in this world, exclusively in the music industry and the business industry, and the movie industry, they are people who have had an expectation. The problem that we have in this world is that people take the expectation to Lucifer for success because they know it's not God's will, and they go to Lucifer for it. God is not guaranteed to fulfill your expectation, but God is guaranteed to fulfill your divine purpose. That is the only thing God is concerned of. Your expectation is for you. It have nothing to do with God. So now people take that expectation and go to the other God, Lucifer, so that he can make that fulfill. And that's the reason why you have a lot of people mixed up. A lot of people want to be part of this world. When Jesus Christ said, do not be confined into the way of this world, but be refined by the renewal of your mind and heart. He meant your expectation. This world gonna make you have expectation that have nothing to do with God. Then you have a choice to follow God's purpose, divine purpose, or your expectation. If you want your expectation, you're gonna put your hand. It will work, but you're gonna give a lot of sacrifice to the devil. That's how it works. Okay? Many people come and talk to me and say, well, I do this and do that. Let me tell you how the devil works, because I study the spiritual world. The devil will never come to you if you don't own him nothing. So this is how Lucifer functions. When you come to him, he will loan you money. He will give you money, because that's the only thing he have to, in order to have something in you to control you. So you saying to me that I'm doing something bad. You think that if I was with the devil, I would be living in this place? Okay? I will not be. So stop talking things that you have no ideas and no education about. Okay? The devil don't function like you think it function. The devil will give you money. He will loan you money so that he has something in you. Does that make sense to you? Critical sense. The devil will never come into you if he doesn't know you. He will cry, but if he doesn't have something to stick, he have nothing in you. So when you take his money, many of those people that you see over there in LA, in the musical world, in the movie world, their function with loan money. Money is given to them yearly. That's the reason why they can do nothing without consulting the Illuminatis, which is only a single branch of all the 13 secret society of the world. So that's how they function. They function with advanced money. And then Lucifer have a tag in them. There's nothing they can do without consulting him, because they have his money. So why are you judging me when you don't know how things work? You think that if I was doing things with the devil, I would be like this? I'm pretty sure I just explained to you how it works. So stop talking things that you don't know nothing about. Look, the people that you upload, the people that you see on TV, those are the people you must be scared of. because those people are not who they claim to be, or claim to be lively, good-looking people, or good Christian people for those who claim to be Christian. So you fear me because you don't know the truth, because you are ignorant, you don't understand how things work. I decided to work with God. That's the reason why I'm paying the price. There's always a price to pay when you make a choice. But I know the choice of God is the best. Okay? By anger, that my expectation is not fulfilled, I can be frustrated. But it doesn't mean that your expectation, if it doesn't work in time A, it will not work in time B. There are two things with God's divine purpose. Either is not what He has written, or is not the time. Sometimes your expectation can be synchronized with God's divine purpose, but it's not the right time. In God's work, there are two parameters: what He will provide and the time. The time is always there. So sometimes your expectation will work if you keep your faith, your determination, and perseverance in place. But at the end, it is always about the divine purpose that will excel in your life, not your expectation. So that's what many people end up into think. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a star. Did you consult with God about that to make sure that God truly wants you to be a star? Sometimes God even wants you to be a star, but not the way you want to be a star. Not the time in which you want to be a star. Then for you go enjoying the Illuminati and all these things. And yes, it was a gift in you, but it is wrongly used. Wrongly used. There is a wise person who said, it will always be good to be created wrongly than do wrong thing. It will always be pleasant to be created wrongly than doing wrong. Because those who are doing wrong are treating other people wrongly. But that only rely on the God through justice. On the God through justice. Jesus Christ came in this world. He was treated wrongly by our society, by the government that was controlling the world at the time. It was not the government from planet Mars or planet Jupiter. It was the government of the planet Earth. At the time he was here, who judged him, even brought him into court with manipulation and found him guilty of nothing but something political, and crucify him, pretty much kill him, for a reason that have to do with power of this world. The same thing are happening in our life today, where people are killing, are playing, spying, conspiring against others because of power, because of money, because of they wanted to be part of this world. My friend, I want you to be very careful. God is the designer of this universe. I have had money. Trust me. I had money in a certain way that $5,000 was not a problem for me. If I say that to you, I will have money again, but in a different kind of level. Now, the point is this. If you walk out there thinking that because you have a couple thousand of dollars in your bank account that you're better than other people, that is the wrong way of seeing your life. You're missing your purpose. Your purpose, in general, for all of us, is not to live for ourselves. You will never gonna see a tree eat his own fruits. The day you're going to see a tree eat his own fruits, please, maybe it is the end of the reign of Lucifer on earth. Jesus Christ will be coming very soon. The day that you're going to see a tree eating its own fruits, it means that the fruits are coming down, the tree are laying down, can take its own fruit and eat it. You have to start looking up that the sky might open very soon, because it will never going to happen like that. People are living like those kind of tree that wanted to eat their own fruits. It means they have money, their life is good, they don't want to share nothing. The only time you see people going toward a tree is not because of the tree, it's because of the fruits of the tree. That's the reason why people go to a tree. People will go to you because the work that you exhibit is beneficial for them, will benefit them. You have to be composed of other people to lead other people. Many people, other people, have to be included in you in order to serve them well. Jesus Christ has done so. Jesus Christ has done so. So I'm telling you, if you're working out there because you have a paycheck, that you can look down on me, you cannot look down on me. What you have, I've had it. What you believe you're doing, I've done it. I can assure you, as I speak, 90% of Americans, few people will show me $33,000 cash in the bank account. I'm not talking about investment. I'm not talking about I put it in a mutual account. I'm talking about money in your account. It means you go there and say, I want my balance. They show it to you. It is that. Few people in this country. So don't talk to me like I'm broke. I'm not. I'm not superior to you. But I'm saying to you, do not judge me because you never knew me. And if you want to judge me, you realize that you're not even close to what I've done in my life. You see what I mean? So many people out there, they don't know me. I choose this life. I made this decision because it is time for people, for the American people who vouch that they love people who serve this nation, to do what they say. Do what you say on TV. Do what you say on TV, not to look good, but to also compromise when your heart don't like somebody, but that person's supposed to have what he's supposed to have, you give it to him. Just don't stay there and talk about how you love people who have served this nation. Why do the fourth branch of this government, controlled by the Pentagon and the NSA, will take my profile and share it with people that have no business, who never served this nation? There are people here who disrespect me, who talk about me, that only have 1 year in this country. It means when I was serving in the military, they were living in their villages somewhere in this world, voided of technology, and you brought them in this country to come and insult veterans like me. It is very pathetic, and it is very deplorable. And going on TV and claim how America is great become questionable, because there are people here who live this life, benefit from this nation, but do not walk along with the vision in which this nation was built and created. And even for what God is waiting for us to do, to love other people and have a personal relationship with Him, people don't do that. People don't do that. I'm just saying to people, do not judge me. Because if you want to judge me based on the criteria that you have, you are running short. You are really running short. I have what I need to survive. I have what I need to survive. I don't ask you a penny. I don't ask you a dime. And you know the kind of car I'm driving. I don't live on the street. I live in a place where the AC is on 24 hours. I have a bed. I have a place to stay. I have food on my refrigerator. I'm the one who don't eat. I don't think like you think. I am not in your level. My concern is higher than what many might think of. I have a different vision for my lives. My vision is to fulfill God's will. My vision is that God gave me more wisdom and knowledge, because I know with more wisdom and knowledge, I will excel and money will come as a positive consequences of that. That's the only thing that bothers me at this point that I need to have. You're sticking there looking for money, looking for glory, looking for the thing of this earth. How are you going to be better than Gabriel and Daikon if all your life is to compare your life to me? You're wasting your time, because we don't have the same faith. Our faith is different. Same as the day that we were born. We were not born the same day. Even if we were born the same day, we were not born in the same seconds. We were not. So only that 20-second difference make a big difference in our lives. And I say again, and I will reiterate that again, you don't know me. I will write my book when my book come out. And I wish that publishers start reaching out to me so that we can start talking about this book, because my book is something that will inspire many people. I came in this country, I live my lives, I've done well so far. For people to believe that I will expect anything less, I will not expect nothing less than what I have worked. Humility have nothing to do with declaring what is just for you. Humility have nothing to do with forfeiting your birthright. People want me to forfeit my birthright. People want me to deny what is just for me. And I'm saying to them, I'm looking at God, and I'm looking at the birthright God have given to me, and I'm looking at all the chances and all the wealth and blessings that God have given to me that have been blocked by the way of this earth through the influence of Lucifer. And I'm saying to you, no, I'll live my life as I see it fit before God, who is in heaven, that control all lives. The challenge might take as he can take, but I know when God will say enough, it will be enough, and things gonna work well for me. I don't worry about that. Worry about myself, that I have my health, and my health is intact, that I can function accordingly with no problems. People who try to hurt me are hurting themselves. They believe that they want to put me in a wheelchair. It is their generation and their self who will be in a wheelchair. The Bible have said that what goes around will come back around. There is no Gabriel and Daikon speaking wrongly or evilly. I'm just saying, if you take a gun and shoot, you have to know that there is a chance that that gun might hit something and come back to you. You don't have to be surprised if that bullet come back to you and kill you. So there's nothing wrong if somebody told you that, because it is called action and reaction. The law of harmony. What goes around is what comes back around. The law of balance, the law of equilibrium. The universe is all made of it. There's a snow, there's a sun coming. The winter will be following, and you're gonna have the spring, and then you have summer. It's how it works. You cannot talk about winter if you don't talk about fall. There can be a fall if there's not a summer. And there cannot be a summer if there's not a spring. That is according to the climate into this part of the region of the world. The same way, if you go into Africa where I was born, there will not be any dry season if there is not a raining season. And there cannot be a raining season if there is not a dry season. And in between, there is a small mix of like a spring. It's like raining and sunny. Raining and sunny in between. That period is sometime around March to even the beginning of raining. That's what happened. We start in June. It's the same thing. So everything have a purpose in life. You will never talk about good if you don't know bad. You will never talk about bad if good don't exist. How will you appreciate good if bad do not exist? How will you cry about bad if good never existed? So all of those things work together. You cannot look for a good life if you cannot talk about the bad life. You cannot mourn during the bad time if you don't know that good time exists. Those things work together. Everything come in pair. You can't talk about I want to be joyful if you don't talk about I will be sad. Joyful comes from the fact that I am not sad. Sad comes from the fact that I am not joyful. They all work in pair in life. So when Gabriel and Dagon is going into hard time and challenges and difficulties, it is better for people to say, glory be to God in heaven, because we see in his work at this moment. You are not expecting always God to come in your life when times are good, and to glorify God when you have a new car, when you have a new job, when you have everything good. That is the way we function as human beings. But as spiritual beings, people who have extra eyes to see what is in the spirit, what is invisible into a normal human being, you realize that that is not the truth. God actually works better on people who are going into hard time. The presence of God is overwhelmed over people who are going into challenges, not into people that believe things are going well into this universe, into this life. That is the moment you see God. At this moment I'm speaking to you, God is more present into the life of Donald Trump. God is more present into my life because we are going into difficult and challenging moment and challenging time. That is the moment. What is the necessity of God being in your life if everything is going well? You tell me. When I have my money, I was not spiritual. I knew there was a power in me. I was very spiritual within. But the manifestation of the Spirit, the way it is today, was not like today. I remember when I was in Oklahoma City, I was actually not sharing, living in a place that at any moment it was time to go. We were waiting for the guy who owned the apartment to come back. That was after I almost sleep outside around the Washington DC area, the Maryland area. Now, at night, there was a night when the voice of God called me 3 times. 3 times. That was the beginning of me. But well, that was the second time. When I was sleeping, you guys don't know God. I am just supporting what I just told you, that it is during the hard time that God manifests better in your life. That's when you know God. Let me explain to you. I was sleeping. I was doing heavy cleaning job. I was working for a cleaning company that would pay me $7 an hour in Oklahoma, Norman. We were cleaning heavy duty manufacturing places for Cisco, where the food have to be stored. Okay, you can understand how difficult it can be to clean a place like Walmart, up into the ceilings, into the floor, wiping it. It was tough. Now the guy stole my money. He didn't pay me, and like everybody know me, I don't play. I talked to him straight, and he fired me, but he paid me my money. People blame me, but at the end, what God does, God always support me at the end. That guy, when the IRS came after him because he was doing the same thing to other people, the IRS came after those other people were not good like me. Talking to him, because when I talk, people say, "Oh, you have a lot of anger." My anger is good. It's the best you can have because I speak my heart. Other people, you know what they did? They contacted the IRS, and when the IRS came in place, the guy had to flee. He left behind his house with 10 room in there, bigger house, everything. He ran. Okay? So I was there, jobless. God called. At 3 o'clock, I was sleeping. I heard a voice, Gabriel. So I looked around and I was thinking it was one of the people in the house calling me, and I was like, what? And I actually get up and I said, and I looked, everybody's sleeping, pass out. I went to sleep again. Another voice, Gabriel. So now I wake up again and I look, who are these people? Who was calling me? I have no idea. And I went again and sleep, and then I heard Gabriel the third time. So now, the next day, something inside of me say, you have to leave. It's time to go. God is telling me to leave a place so that I can go and live in a shelter to transition. So you see how God functioned. That was the way. There was not another way for me to get out of there. Because you know what happened? When I left it, when the person who owned the house came, everybody else there went into the place. Some other people also went to other shelters. So it was the right moment. It was the best moment. So whatever God presents in your life is the best at the moment. So people who claim to know God, I'm telling you again, you do not know God who is in heaven. And don't claim to know him. If you cannot praise God during your difficulty, you are not a mature believer. Period. You cannot move God. Period. And you cannot move to heaven. If you have not reached a level in which during your pain, when your heart is stumbled, when you just wanted to hurt somebody, that's the moment God say, I want you to glorify me. If you're not able to do that, you are still a baby kindergarten spiritual believer. A baby kindergarten spiritual believer who still have a long way to go, because it is the beginning. That during your difficult time, that's where you have to glorify God. God is calling me 3 times. Not that I'm going to go live in a $1,000 apartment or $3,000 home, but he's calling me that your best way for you to get out of here is to go first into a shelter and stay there for 2 weeks, and then I'll see later on. All right? And when I went there, many other people were living with me. They also went to the shelter but they didn't have a time for it, because when the guy came, he didn't want no one there. So God moved me out at the right time. So what God presents to you is always a good time. And this is not even the first time the voice of God called me like that. When I was about 7 or 8 like that. I was sleeping with all my brothers. The same voice called me 3 times. And I was thinking it was my mother and my father, when actually they were not. They were sleeping. And I went back to sleep. Now, you start understanding that God was working in my life, preparing me for many things. Will I am a perfect person? No. But I know I am a good candidate. Because when I look at the life of Abraham, Isaac, all these people, and Jacob, they have an imperfect lives. Their life was full of controversy. But God used them to fulfill his divine purpose. So as I. If God can use them, even he can also use me. And that's what it is. We have to understand other people's life. Treating other people in a certain way is not good. For people to claim that Gabriel and I can have no job, it is a shame, because I am happy to say it, I'm working for myself. Even if I start my business from scratch like I did, it is the best way to do what you believe God have written in your heart. People will judge you because they don't know how far you came from. If you understand my life and realize I have done all kind of shitty job in this country, even serving into the military, working for this government, coming back and go to school, and went to school and earned degrees, regardless of how you judge, you have to know that there has been a work done by this individual. Therefore, there's always compensation to every single work you do, and it is exactly what this country have denied me to have. And you have people out there who sit down, say nothing, believe in false information, fake news, all their lives, judging me, and because things are not moving in the way that human being can visualize it, as far as I can see, they believe that it might be true. It is not. You have to know that. It's not that even close to be true. If it was true, I would tell you, with the difficulty that I have in this country, I should be gone a long time ago. I have a blue passport. I can go at any moment. I can pack my bag there and go. But I decide to stay because I know there's a truth that many don't know. And I know that if I go, they will not know the truth. So it is better to go through the challenge so that the truth can come out. When the truth come out, people will then see clear, and people will then realize how wrong they has been all those years. So that's what it is. When it comes to my personal relationship, I say the people, I made a decision. I stick in what I believe. I believe that I am to be with somebody that meet the desire of God's eyes. And God will always choose someone that he know will satisfy the desire of my heart, because the one who created me. I don't want losers around me. I don't want people who work for the fourth branch of the government, the Pentagon and the NSA, to come and spy on me and destroy my life. I function like in heaven. Loyalty, honesty, and truth. You don't have loyalty, you don't have honesty, you cannot be my partner. End of the story. I don't fake it. I will tell you right on before your face. And if you violate that, a divorce will be put in place in the speed of light. And you take your place and I take my road. Everybody goes separately, because loyalty and trust is everything in every stage of life. If there is a mistrust of loyalty and trust, nothing can work. Because at a certain point, somebody have to trust somebody else to advance, to move forward, to be secure, to make sure that thing work. But when you have spy that walk around, come and play the role like they can be a friend and thinking that they can manipulate, that before God, they're wasting the time. So you have to realize that Gabriel and Daikon is not sitting there, not seeking for a relationship, not because he can't, but because the circumstances are too complex, such a way that only God can solve this. Because my own perspective can get me into another spy, another person that will be in my life to control it according to the desire of my enemies that are part of the fourth branch of the government, the Pentagon and the NSA, that to continue the mission of destroying my future. Because when they get informed about what they want to do, they go ahead of time and make sure it doesn't work. Influence everybody in my pathway and doing those things illegally without the Congress agreeing to it, without the Senate agreeing to it, without even the president knowing about it. So that's what it is. It's illegal operation within the cells of the cities of our nations. And many people like me are paying the price for that. They are using people. They are using people that do not have their eyes open, manipulate their mind, manipulate their psyche, energy, to make them believe in things that they want them to believe, sucking other people lives. And that is unfortunate that we live in a country like that today. And that's why I'm calling to President Trump to read my letters that I sent. He knows how I sent it. It is important. Jesus Christ wants him to look into my file and see what he can do. And as a result, the heaven will work and make sure that his problem is as well addressed. You must say this is a recourse of desperation, because this guy is desperate, so he wanted to say whatever he wanted to say to create fear, because maybe people believe that he's closer to God and stuff like that. I don't speak things like that. I never said something like that before. This is the first time I say it, and this is the last time. That's what it is. To prove you that I am not here, look for desperation. God is in my side. If God is in my side, I know for sure that this is temporary and I will get over this. It's very simple. I don't need the support of men. Yes, as a human being, you can ask God, how long, how long? I will not be the first to ask that, I will not be the last. Abraham did ask that to God. Isaac did ask that to God. Jacob did ask that to God. Moses did the same. All the people, it is not normal, just normal. But we know in our inner, deeper consciousness that this will be resolved in our favor and we will become victorious. It's just a matter of time for people to believe and not to believe. It's just as simple as that. So you have to know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And I hope the president take this in consideration, because small things are very important. When you read the Bible, you see how those prophets, those people were talking about the word of God. They were just simple people coming before the kings, and the kings listened to them. There were not people of high rank. There were people talking like I do, asking audiences to the kings and saying, God said this. So if I am a true believer, I say to everybody, I will leave this to the Holy Spirit to do His work. That's all I can do. And that's the end of this. So I hope that many people have access to my website, to my YouTube channel, because there are too many important things that can change people's lives. There is a demon inside of us that do not allow us to listen into God messages. Many people, I go on YouTube, I did a research, I look videos that talk about God. Maybe if you're lucky, 1,000 people will listen. But video that talk evil things, sex things, the thing of Lucifer, 1 million people, 10,000 people, sometimes unprecedented numbers. You can see how this word is going in a direction that actually justify the revelation of Jesus Christ in the Bible by John, by Apostle John. So that is true. That as time is going, people will go away from God. People will go away from God. The actual Christian, actually Jesus Christ said, I want to be very clear with you. And this is the truth. And this will be true. The present Christian, God gonna lose a lot of Christian as we go closer and closer to the end time. God gonna gain more people from the Muslim side. This is a revelation that I'm telling you today that just came as I'm speaking to you. The actual Christian, God gonna lose a lot. We're gonna be few as we go to the end. But God gonna gain more and more from the Muslim side. So the seed of Ishmael will come to know Jesus Christ during those times. Even though that many things will be linked to them, into that, with the Jew, with the Israel during those end time. So that's how God works. And this is the truth. And this gonna happen. And you can even see that many Christians are living a false kind of life. They're living a false kind of life. They they don't want to change it. And because they don't want to change it, I can only see why Jesus Christ said that. And when Jesus Christ says something, it is what gonna happen. You guys can say, well, we have too many churches. Well, doubt the word of God. You find out. Things happen. You're going to start realizing what happened to our churches. A lot of churches are closing because few people are going there. And not only that few people are going there, because people don't have to go to church for a church to function. People can even send the money, the donation, the devotion into church, be in a distance. You know what I'm saying here? I meant people will not even have any more love for Christ truly. They will be portray a Christian, but they will not be Christian inside. That's what's going to happen. And Jesus Christ will catch up with the other people, because there will be many. So you can imagine, too many Muslims be converted in Christianity is a good number. You see how the future is is a mystery. Sometimes you can't even believe it based on actual present circumstances. You're just like, nah, I don't think, But that's exactly what's going to happen. The people who are hating the Christian today are the one mostly saved. Mostly. God have a way of using He have a way of using evil to good. He have a way of turning evil to good. He did like that with Apostle Saul, who become Paul. He was a killer of Christian. I mean, at the time when he was in his moment, you go in Jerusalem and ask, can we find a person here who is against the Christian? The first person they're going to show you was Saul. They have a name that was giving him Saul of a town. That was the name of a town. They will give him his name. Oh, and that's the way it was. Of, the name what followed was the town. So he became Paul later on. So he was number one killer of Christians. But he became one of the most powerful follower of Jesus Christ. And today, if you go to heaven, they will tell you his glorifying body is brighter in a degree that you have no idea. It's because of the faith level he built when he was here on earth. His glorifying body is brighter than many. Very bright. Because it's very, very close to God. Paul. You see, so that's what I'm saying, that what Jesus Christ say is a proof that the Muslim will be the one that will turn into Christianity in a very heavy way. And the Christian of today, we're going to be losing. We will lose some of them. We will lose some of them because they will play fair game. They will play fair game. And we have to be careful. And I even say careful. What God says something is what's going to happen. Even if you're careful enough, it's just going to happen. So I would like to thank you. And I hope that people start living their lives with true love, with a horizontal love for other people, and love for God. Because that is what the cross is all about. The cross is not the cross. The cross is a symbol that represents what life is all about. Horizontal love and vertical love. Horizontal love for others and vertical love for God. That's what the cross is all about. And that's what life is all about. If somebody teach you otherwise, you can continue to go in those churches, but you will not be surprised to end up in hell. I have to be very frank with you. If I go out there, I don't love people. I know the decision I made, and I know where it can lead me. So don't be fooled. Try to think everything is okay. God is not saying anything to me, so everything is okay. The only time nowadays people are praying, God don't manifest, is okay. I'm telling you, if you want to know if God is with you, if you pray, you don't see God manifest, or the Holy Spirit, or nothing move, or the room don't change, the atmosphere of the room don't change, you have to know you still have a lot of things that you're doing that is not correct to God. That is the only way you can justify what you're thinking. When you do something, God don't say something, it doesn't mean that God is with you. If you want to make sure that God is with you, it is when you pray. If you don't see any change of the atmosphere, I mean, for a believer, he will understand what I meant. God is not with you. You have something that is blocking, and that can only be negative things, dark cloud that is blocking, and that dark cloud is built based on hate, based on jealousy, based on things like conspiring to hurt somebody else, based on not loving others, based on maybe putting poison into people's food, or conspiring for something like that. Not willing to open other people, not willing to give, not willing to forgive. You have those dark, and those dark clouds are barrier that will block you to get in communication with God, or that will block God to come to you, because God will not force it. Depend on you. So many of you don't know this trick. I used to pray like you. Back then, there was no manifestation like today, because there was still those things that's supposed to go. That's how you know God is with you. God is not somebody that you're going to come and just say, God is with me. No. God will manifest. If he's with you, he will manifest. If you're a true believer, you pray. Me like this, it take me about a couple seconds for if I start praying, for the atmosphere of the place to change. That's how close I got close. That's how close I am with the heaven. Which tell me that praying itself is not a bad thing, but it must be a constant thing to build your faith. Because faith is what builds that cross inside of you. It's what fortify the power that God already dwell in you. It's already there. But that faith have to build it, have to make it stronger. And that faith become the connection. It become the connection in the form of a cross. Then when you pray, you pick up the telephone to call God. That faith inside of you, in form of a cross, connect you with God, because that's what it's all about. The faith is pretty much the connection system that connect you to the heaven. It is a way designed. So, if you want somebody who's away from you to do something, what do? You pick up a phone and call him. What happens if the connection is bad? The person will not be able to do what you asked for, because he didn't understand it. Because he didn't reach him. The message didn't reach him. The same thing with praying. Because we don't have enough faith, the connection is not good. God is not receiving the message. He's listening to the message, but he's not receiving it, because the message is not coming into the right path. The path he designed for his believers, in order for him to answer. He will listen to it because he's the one who created everything. He's aware of everything. But he will not receive the message because the message is not coming from the right path. It is like you're calling somebody, he's not receiving the message, but other people are telling him about what you want to tell him. That's pretty much the comparison. And the person going to say, I want to get it from him directly. And God is saying, I want him to get it from this side, from that faith I have in him, from that power I bestow into him. I want that message to come from there. That's how it works. When people pray for you, it's good because it builds the power to protect you. But you are the one who have to pray yourself. If everybody If the president is waiting for you, for example, and you keep sending people, you keep sending your deputy, like if my company is a big company today that start making big money, and I wanted to meet with the president, I keep sending people, go and tell him that they're gonna come, go and tell him this, go and tell him that, go and tell him this. One time the president gonna say, you know what, I want to listen from him directly. I'm tired about people coming from left to right. I want to listen from him directly. It's the same thing. When you pray, when people pray for you, it's good because the message is received by the heaven and you get protected. But at a certain point, the heaven gonna say, we want to hear from this person directly. That's the reason why you have to pray personally. Personally. It's the same thing. Otherwise, everything will be temporal. Everything you're gonna be getting will be just temporal. Because people are praying for you, it's good. People are praying, you fortify, but God gonna say now, what make us think that this person really want to succeed in this? That's what God is saying. We want his heart to tell us the truth. So we're gonna wait for him to come before we can make our move. And that's a function. So you have to pray. You have to pray yourself and ask for yourself. That's what I always recommend people. Pray directly to God. Yes, people pray. Because when I hear people say, I will pray for you, I say, pray for me. You pray for me is good. It's extra. But at the end, I am the one who have to make the last shot to make it happen. Otherwise, it's just gonna be temporal. God's gonna say, well, okay, we keep him there, because people are praying, it's all right. The only time God will not require you to pray is when you are dying, when you are already dead, or you are dying, you cannot pray. You're in a coma, and people are praying for you. God will not require you to pray directly because you don't have that faculty. That is the only time. But any other time, you are required to pray directly to God. Like you have a big company, you keep sending people around. The president don't want to hear about other people. He want to talk to you directly. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. God's work is not different than what we know in our human existence. So pray directly to God. And if other people want to pray for you, extra, good. But you have to pray directly. Thank you very much. And I hope that you have followed this video. You're going to follow that. It's very informative. It's good. It's good, man. We can follow the thing of this earth. But what even tell you that you're going to enjoy what you're following for? You can go for all those doctorate, all those things, and at the end, you die. So, give your life to God, man. All of you. Going to school, all these things, at the end, you don't even know if you're going to enjoy it. You might there like that, working hard and get those PhD and all that, and after 1 year, God called you. All of that time, gone. So it come back to my equation of happiness. Find your divine purpose and make sure that your expectation work with it, because that is the only way you can avoid these kind of things. Because when you know your divine purpose, there are many things that you're doing now that you're gonna let go, or things that bother you that you're gonna let go. That's what I'm saying to people. All these people who follow their career, who want this, want that, give your life to God, because you might not even enjoy those things. What happens if you work all those years in school and you have all these things, and when the time comes you don't enjoy it? What benefit would that be for you? But if you are following God's divine purpose, it will be beneficial. Even if God take you earlier, you have done what He wants you to do. But you must say, well, what made you think that you didn't want me to go to school? Well, it will be a very bad end. If you go to school for all 7 years and after that 1 year you die, yes, it was God's will, but you have not really served Him. You serve yourself. So you have to see it this way. Because you go to school so that you can help other people. This life is all about helping other people. It's not about ourselves. You're doing this to help people. You're doing that to help people. That's what people have to know. People go to school are going to make big money. God don't send you to educate yourself to make big money. God sent you to educate yourself so that you can help people and as a positive consequence, make money. Long way of seeing life. See, that's what I'm talking about. People don't know the divine purpose. People go to school, yeah, when I finish, I'm going to make good money in a very, no. You make it wrong. God can take you like that. And you have misery. You don't, because you don't understand. You might go before God and say, God, why do you take me so early like that? I was trying to enjoy my time, my money. I'm enjoying my effort that I put on. You don't have to be a genius. God going to say to you, you did serve yourself. You didn't serve me. The way you're talking, you didn't serve me. Your intent don't prove that you would like to serve me. Because when you talk about I want to make money, I want to compensate what I put in, I don't see anything as it was meant to help people. And as a consequence, positive consequence, I'll make money out of it. But you are the tree and you want people to eat your fruits. You don't eat your own fruits. That's what life is all about. You don't eat your own fruits. Some people have position, but they want to eat it by themselves. They don't want to share it, give it to other people, making life tough and miserable for other people. That's not what life is all about. Everything is like a tree, having fruits that can be beneficial to other people. And somebody come and eat it, and the person is healthy, and he help also other people. When you eat now, you can go and lift somebody, help somebody, carry the bag of somebody. It's the same thing. You go to school, you work for a company, the company pay you. Now that you better, you can decide to open your own company and hire other people. People come and work for you. There are certain people who are going to work for you. They're going to open their own company, and so forth and so forth. That's how life works. Bill Gates used to work for IBM. He used to have a paycheck. After working for IBM, he decided to unemploy himself and start working for himself. Now he also hired people. And there are many people who work for Bill Gates who became self-employed and opened their own company and hire people. It's just the way life is. But there are certain people that they don't want to share. Everything have to be for them. They don't want to open doors. Wrong way of seeing life. You are a tree. You don't eat your own fruits. It just don't happen. A tree don't eat his own fruit. It go to people. People eat it. And if many of you were a tree, you're going to be casting people out of your perimeter because the tree is getting fruit and people just eat. You mean just a slave of other people? That's how our life is. You have to see it like that. That's where humility comes in place. When people talk about humility, that's where it comes in place. Because you live a life to be a gateway for other people to prosper. Not to be a block, not to be a barrier. Many of us live a life to be a barrier. We don't want him to have this. We don't have many of you around. I pray God for you. I truly pray that he can open your heart so that you guys can see the truth. We cannot live a life full of blockage when the life is meant to work for others and help others, open doors. And that's why the trust comes into place. That can only happen if love exists. That's all. Horizontal love and vertical love. Thank you very much. This is Gabriel and Icon of the Catholic Global Consulting, and I hope that this message has touched you. And I know my video alone, and that is how God functions. God's word don't take 1 hour, 2 hours. It takes more than that, because God wants people not to go fast and fast. In this world, we have the tendency of fast. I don't have time. No, you have time. You always have time. The problem is, it's not the time. The problem is where your heart is and your mind is. That's the problems. Thank you for your time. And I hope this will find you in a very good state. That you will allow the Spirit of God to let you listen to these videos. Because those are things that will save you. Those are things that God will say, one of my believer, one of my ambassadors on earth has spoken in those little channels that are meaningless to certain people, but meaningful to me. And you refuse to listen to it when you have the opportunity. You must say, oh, that's bullshit. Yes, there were too many bullshit. To the people who used to beat Jesus Christ, today, they are the one that the demon are beating, and they're begging Jesus Christ to help them. But when Jesus Christ was telling them, when Jesus Christ said, the Spirit of God spoke to you in your heart when you were beating me, that this man that you're beating is a good man, you refuse to listen. Now you want me to come and help you? Please, demon, do your work. That's all. Jesus Christ is a different Jesus Christ of your picture in another word. I'm telling you, for those who don't know him, you find out. And I hope you don't find out about it in hell, and you find out about it in heaven. I just hope that you find out the true Jesus Christ, not in hell, but in heaven, because he's in control of hell as well. For many people don't know that. For many people don't know that. There is one guy, the one who put that crown in the head of Jesus Christ. That crown that actually pierced his head. That guy, the demon, are cutting his head every single time his head come together. They're cutting his head every single time his head come together. That's what they do. Because in your spiritual form, you don't die. They kill you, you come back to life. That's how painful God put it. It's so painful. So, people, look your life again. Revise your life. Don't let this word fake you. Those teaching of the past, many of those teaching were very wrong. Look for the right teaching. The one that speak of the word of God. And you know your heart is the true word, is the true teaching, is not the fake teaching. Because if you don't pay attention, you might end up in a place where you have no gleam of being. That's how many people end up here in hell, and they start asking questions, why? When actually it was simple things that they're supposed to look into. They refuse to do so because the word. You have to do this so that you can be friend with this, you can be friend with that. When I live my life the way I live, people say, oh, he's isolated. No. I know what I'm doing. More advanced than you think. All right? Because I'm not seeing life the way you do. Different perspective. My perspective is in heaven, which is higher than the earth. Your perspective is on earth. We have different perspective of life. So stop judging me. That's all. Thank you very much. And I wish you the best Memorial Day. And hopefully you start treating veterans better. I am one of the witnesses. I just don't say it. Start treating them well. Give them exactly what they deserve to have. For good. For good. Even if you don't like them. It's just part of life. And you can reach me at www.angelhmedfounded.net or www.charitymedfounded.org, Google Plus, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and many other media that you can find out there. I am everywhere, but I'm not God, but I'm just everywhere. All right. So, nice talking to you, and I hope that I see you next time. Healthy as I am, beautiful as I am, God, beauty keep in place, and I believe that I'm still going to be performing well and be graded a B, I believe, B plus from the heaven point of view of the message that I proclaim here. I think that is a good lot of things.